Alright. Alright. I like to work in.
Okay, we're doing the brake job around a 2020 Honda Civic. I'm doing a full brake job, which is the rotors. I put new rotors on, everything else. I'm cleaning up all the hardware as far as everything goes. This is the caliper. I got it already removed, cleaned up. I already lubed the slide pins for the actual brake job. I'll go ahead and do a first part. I forgot to record the first part of this on video, so I'm doing the second part first. But I'll go ahead and do the first part on the next side. But right now I'm doing the second half of a brake job, so it's pretty much almost complete. But I'm just giving you the last steps of it. So right here, like I was saying in the first part, which I didn't record, but it's okay. I'll do on the next one. There's slide pins right here. You want to clean them up, clean up your slide pins, nice and clean. Clean up your caliper, use some brake cleaner, stuff like that. Always want to make sure everything's clean and ready. And this is what we use for slide pins. It's a Seal Glide. It's a brake lubricant that goes on slide pins and brake hardware. It's something that the factory, all like manufacturers use. I mean, it's always something similar. It's all the same stuff, and it just helps the slide pin move in and out through the caliper bracket and make sure your brakes are not binding. So you just want some stuff like that. A little bit of it on there, like so. You want to use some on the actual piston because this is the part that presses on the inner brake pad. So we use some of that on that. A little bit right here, so we can avoid any kind of noise or issues like that in the future. And I always recommend, if you're gonna do a brake job for yourself, always do it the right way, the first time and not the next. I know people like to save money or stuff like that by just doing pads only. But then again, in the future, you're gonna have issues with pulsation in the pedal not feeling correct, vibration when you're braking, all because maybe they didn't have the money at that time, or they just felt like, oh, it didn't need it. But if it's my car, you always gotta do it. I always gotta do it the right way, and that's just the way that I work. But here are the new brake pads. We got an outer pad right here, and then should be an inner pad. Okay, this is the difference right here, okay? This is the inner pads. As you can see, this is the old one, and this is the new one. Both pads, the inner pads always have this little nipple right here. And this is the thing, once the brake pad runs out, you'll hear that ee when you're braking and all that stuff. That's the sound you're gonna hear as your brakes wear out. So when you start to hear that noise, this is the indicator. That's the one that's grooving on this rotor, the disc itself, and that's what's creating the noise. So the inner pad always has this indicator on it, and this one always goes inside. Remember that. So we're going with an aftermarket. It's a Duralast pad. I mean, I don't recommend it, but I mean, I wouldn't buy it for my car, but for the customer, that's what he went with. So we'll go ahead and use it. But what I'm going to use is a different kind of lubricant, which I'm going to get right now. This is a separate type of lube that I use. It's from Napa. It's like $30 for this little thing. But I'm almost done. I know I need more, but I'll get some later. A new pad. You always want to lube the ears of the pad. So you got that on there. And it doesn't take much, it just takes a little bit. People think the more the better. You You just need a little bit of stuff. It's expensive, so, and it goes a long way. Just put that on there. You know, if you want, you can just use the same lube stuff like I did. I used some other stuff, but I'll use this one just to make sure. Throw it on there. So it's nice. You always want to make sure the contact points are lubed. So you want to go ahead and take your pad, which is right here. The inner pad goes in. Bam, on there. And then take your outer pad. Like I said, it doesn't have this indicator on there. And like I said, well, where is it at? Let me get my brake fingers. Here they are. I'll show you here again. These are brake gauges. They determine where you're at as far as pads go. So a brand new pad, being this is brand new, it should be within 10 millimeter, which is 10 millimeters. That's a brand new pad right there. So that's what we're gonna put on. The old pad, you can see the indicator is right here. So it's about 44 millimeter, which is about less than half of the brake life. So I would recommend brake pads on this vehicle right here. So that's what we're gonna go do. We're gonna take our outer pad. Like I said, we're gonna put a little bit of grease on the ears of the pad, the new pad, so it can move around freely and be okay. And remember, don't get grease on the surface of this pad because you're gonna have issues. Always wanna make sure it's clean. Don't touch it with fingers, none of that.